The people of Dayton know better than anyone the terrible damage that Biden has inflicted over his nearly 50 years, 47 years to be exact. Can you believe it? For 47 years, Joe Biden shook the hands of American workers and then stabbed them in the back.
So there's the president making his pitch in Ohio yesterday to blue-collar workers. They helped him flip that state in 2016. Joe Biden's been making his own pitch to working-class Americans, saying the president forgot about them. Want to bring in Fox News contributor Karl Rove. Karl, nice to see you today. So I want to give our viewers an understanding for what the strategy is for Trump and Biden and where these campaign stops are being made right today. Okay, so I mentioned Ohio yesterday. In 2006, well, the president yesterday was in Dayton, Ohio, so that's Montgomery County, right down around here. He flipped that county 4 years ago, Karl. I'll just show you in 2012 quickly. President Obama won that county by 5 points. Then later last night, he went up Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland here. This is Toledo, Ohio. He made a stop here in Fulton, Ohio, which he carried quite sizably in 2016, but he did not carry Lucas County, which is where Toledo is. Conversely, and I'll just allow you to see this yesterday, we watched Joe Biden go up here and not talk about the Supreme Court. He was east of Green Bay in a county where the president dominated in 2016. So I turn it over to you, the master of this, to try and help us understand what's going on between the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign strategy now, Karl.
Well, look, you're right. The president yesterday went to Fulton County, which is a deep red county outside of Toledo. Toledo is in northwest Ohio, the blueberry in the middle of a Red Sea. And the president was making a smart move here. He wanted to get on Toledo TV, but he didn't want to be in Toledo itself. So he went to Fulton, right next door. In fact, the place where he was literally right on the border between the two counties. And the margin that he got in Fulton, Henry, Wood, Ottawa, and Sandusky, all of which are around Toledo, more than offset what Hillary Clinton got in Lucas in Toledo. So the same thing.
So he's going there to drive up the vote that he picked up in 2016 and try and drive it higher this year, right? That's what you're saying?
That's right. And he's doing so by going into a market where the dominant center of the media market is blue, but all the surrounding area is red. So he appears in the red area and gets the benefit from appearing there and still gets the television coverage that emanates from Toledo.
Okay, so if I'm Joe Biden, right, I mean, I'm going to a county where Trump got 60% of the vote. Why do I do that?
Yeah. Well, you do it for a couple of reasons. One is because you want to go back, in all likelihood, to Green Bay later, and that's in the Green Bay media market. Kanawha County just east of it, and then Manitowoc south so it's southeast of Green Bay. So what he's doing is he's going into the Green Bay market, getting on Green Bay TV, but reserving the right to get in and out of Green Bay later on in the campaign. It's also, Manitowoc is where historically there was a big shipyard there. The shipyard many years ago moved just north of there to Door County, further up the coast into Sturgeon Bay. But there are a lot of blue-collar heritage there in Manitowoc, and he's trying to reach back and grab some of those blue-collar working-class people who voted for Donald Trump, bring them back to the Democratic column.
Okay, so Biden goes there on a day where the Supreme Court dominated the news and doesn't mention it in his speech. He mentioned it later with an affiliate out of Green Bay. But during his speech, he's wearing a mask the entire time. And his message was about COVID, Karl. Is his campaign seeing something in the numbers with regard to COVID?
Well, we know this. The more that people consider COVID to be a health event as opposed to an economic event, the more likely they are to be for Biden. And Biden's campaign is based upon one big message with a couple of subordinate issues. The big message is Donald Trump bungled the response to COVID and deserves to be tossed out on that and that alone. The subordinate messages are to sort of swing suburbanites are, I'm the normal Democrat, you may be sort of Republican leaning, but you can survive me for 4 years. And then a subordinate message to the left of the Democratic Party, I will be, quote, the most progressive president since FDR. Look at all the stances that I'm taking in the Unity Commission and my endorsement of Elizabeth Warren's stances and my call for big tax cuts and more government. I'm going to be a progressive. But those two last messages are subordinate to the big message which he's trying to run the clock out on, which is that guy bungled the response to coronavirus, so elect me. I'm not certain it's sufficient, and I'm frankly mystified as to why he didn't address the Supreme Court yesterday on the day that that was so shortly after.
We were
Biden.
watching air. We were curious about that.